Necesito ayuda, un hombre me persigue, él está tratando de matarme. Welcome to the Science Fiction Rating System. It's Alex Humphrey, and that meant I need help. A man is after me. He's trying to kill me. I am joined, as ever, by Chris Redding.
Hello.
How are you, Chris?
Yeah, good.
How's things going on the alien spaceship?
Good. We're nearing completion of the set, and we're ready to roll. So
Good. We're lucky to have you here, really, aren't we?
Extremely. Yeah.
Always, every week.
Yeah.
Yep. And Sam Draper, how are you?
Hello, I'm okay, thank you.
You sound better.
Yes,
than
I'm a
last
lot
time.
better. Just a little cough now, rather than a full-on wheeze.
Good. Well, we're here to discuss time crimes. We've had sense crimes, we've had thought crimes. Now it's time
Sex
crimes.
crimes.
Sex crimes, yes, sex crimes. So, Time Crimes, 2007, written, directed, and starring Nacho Vigalondo, who people will know because of that colossal film. Did anyone see that? I didn't see it.
I started to watch it and turn it off because it
Right.
wasn't great.
Okay. Well, he's made some interesting stuff. There's a film he made called Open Windows that I thought was quite good. He also directed, that VHS series that had all the... his segment in that is kind of a bit like this. It's about a parallel universe. A scientist opens a door and meets himself in a parallel universe. And it is insane. It's ridiculously, offensively insane. It's worth watching if you can track it down. It's pretty horrible. Okay. But anyway, this is Time Crimes. So the basic plot of Time Crimes is the film is about Hector, a man who becomes part of a time loop and must stop his other selves from continuing to exist. That's pretty much the main... Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Pretty much. So straight in, part one, we meet Hector. It's an odd beginning for a science fiction film. It's almost like a kind of foreign language comedy, isn't it? Like a sex drama comedy kind of thing. It's weird, isn't it?
Especially if during the trailer had that kind of that kind of music that they have for like comedies on.
That was meant.
So yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect really at this point in the film.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I mean, he turns up at his house, stuff falls out the back of his car, kind of Mr. Bean-esque.
Yeah.
They're redecorating, his wife's there, he sits on a deck chair, and he spies a woman stripping in the woods. I mean, it's a bit of a weird opening, isn't it?
It's very like foreign film,
Not
isn't it?
in
Though?
Spain.
Like, yes, yeah, like Spain, French
That's every day in
films.
Spain.
They can't do a film without someone taking the top off, can they?
No, they're physically impossible for them to not have nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an odd beginning. But I think when you see the guy with the man with the bandages on his head, I think one thing this film has, I'm sure we'll discuss whether we liked it or not, but I do think the look of the man with the pink bandages on his head is quite a good kind of almost horror villain look, don't you think?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just like you're just like, what the hell is that? Is it a creature? Is it a human being? We don't really know.
Well, no, it's a man with
is.
bandages on his face.
But he could have had a really mucked up face, or he could have been an alien underneath, or you didn't.
But I liked that they didn't save that reveal for the end of the film.
No.
Because it was obvious, wasn't it? So it's nice that
Yeah.
was kind of out of the way quite quick. That was good.
Yeah. Well, pretty quickly, Hector goes off into the forest to look for the woman with no clothes on. And he finds her. She's just like dead or kind of just lying there, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's still breathing. Still a bit weird, this film. Then he finds... He goes over a fence. And
Well, no, he gets stabbed by the man with the bandages. Yeah.
Sorry, he gets stabbed by the man with the bandages, runs off because he thinks the man's chasing him, as my quote said, and he ends up in this huge facility that no one seems to be there, and you're kind of like, by this point, it does feel a bit more like, well, you can see the kind of science stuff coming in a bit here. It's a bit more of a thriller at this point. You're a bit like, what's going on? It's a bit more interesting, isn't it?
I like the look of the building and the style of it, like sort of, what's that, 60s sort of look, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah, like brutalism, is it?
Yeah, and the way it's all shot, it's got a nice sort of... It looks kind of... Well, it's like lo-fi, isn't it? But
They've
not
done
in
a
a
lot
crap
with
way.
what they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you could believe it's someone like wandering around a place on the weekend, couldn't you? It looked like a real place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw the calendar with that kind of wavy arrow, I'm pretty sure you guys as well, that's very kind of Back to the Future, wasn't it?
Yeah, I drew that.
You drew it?
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be a lot more complicated than it actually was. So I thought that's obviously a clue. So I'm going to draw that, expecting it to be like a real like mystery thing. And then about 10 minutes later, he just draws it. And I was like, well, that's a waste of time.
Brilliant. Oh well, it's good that you're paying that much attention.
Yeah,
You're even taking.
I'll take notes. Yeah.
Like wow, big notes. Yeah.
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, he gets a radio message from the scientist, who's actually it's Nacho Vigilante, and I think he's not bad, but he's credited as the young man, which is a bit of an odd.
Is he?
It's called. Yeah, he's not called the scientist, which I thought he would be. It's the young man. That is, and also the woman is called the girl in the forest. That's a bit more obvious, obviously. And he gets radioed, and he says the man is saying, like, "Come up to mine up on the hill. Come up to on the hill." And so he kind of gets up there, doesn't he? And next thing he knows, the scientist says, "Get in here. That's the only place you can go to get away from him." Mm-hmm. And something happens, and it's kind of a flash, and then pretty much at this point you are like, "Yeah, this is science fiction now. We're kind of in more obvious territory." And suddenly he's jumped back in time, hasn't he?
Yeah. But not by much.
No.
But not by much, exactly. What did you think of it as like of a setup? Do you think it was a good setup? Did it kind of... Were you intrigued, or did you just think, I'm not sure about this?
Well, I'm just seeing like indie film, sort of it's a one location film, one setting. He wasn't going to... we weren't going to see the Napoleonic Wars in this time travel film, were we?
I appreciate the pace at which it got going. There was no mucking around, and you sort of straight into it, and it kicks that pace up, doesn't it? There's no you're back in time quite quickly, really, relatively, aren't you? And then it's got a nice economy to it.
Yeah.
Did you prefer this to the one that you don't like? The what's it called?
Well, we'll wait to the end to reveal that.
Okay. Well,
that is an interesting question. Now, but I mean, I'd say there's a lot of parallels, really, in a way. They're both very kind of low budget kind of time.
Actually, I can't talk. It's a better film. It's a much better film, that obviously. Yes.
An amusing thing I read when he goes into that facility. If you look at one of the computer screens, on the top of the screen, it's labelled "Time Machine Configuration Interface (beta). And in the bottom it says, "Caution, please pay for your software." So it's basically implying that the software that the time machine is running is pirated, or that it's going to run out soon. Which is kind of a good little, it's quite a good little idea. So as Sam said, he's gone back in time, but he's only gone back an hour, and he's kind of Hector's pretty mucked up about this. He looks at himself through the binoculars, and he's trying to. He's not happy, is he? And the scientist is acting a bit oddly, but you don't really... At this point, you're not really sure why he's acting like that, are you?
I don't know.
You'd already worked all this out.
Well, not all of it. I'd kind of got that...
You had an inkling.
Yeah, you could tell. I don't know. The pleasure of this film for me was that it set its clues up so you could work it out, didn't it? In a nice way of sort of like everything... Because everything was so sparse, they're like just two cars.
In that sense.
4 people. Well, I would say kids movie, more like an Agatha Christie mystery to me. Like the bits are all there, and it's confident enough to not try and trick you or like fake you out. Like it's very straight with what it's doing, really, which I appreciate.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, like you say, it's kind of it's a very early film of his, and it's obviously not the hugest budget, and he's obviously doing the best he can with what he's got, isn't he? He's script wise as well as kind of like special effects and everything.
I'd say the only thing I didn't like about this bit though is that the guy's Hector's attitude to it all. He seemed to not be getting it to the level of like being too thick to make the story work at this point. Like later on, I think his actions seem to make more sense. But this first bit, he has to really be like, oh no, it's not happening, or that guy's in my house. To the stage where I was like, well. You've seen him. It's clearly you. I didn't really buy that, but
I've titled the next part. It's all gone a bit odd because it is this next bit where it does go a bit odd. And I think to me, the issues I have with the film kind of are in this next bit.
Yeah,
because Hector drives off, and to kind of like get back to his house, or because he's angry at himself. It's all a bit kind of confused at what he's doing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then he gets rammed off the road, smashes his head, puts the bandage on, and then obviously, as we've said, he is the man in the bandages. And then it's kind of... Then he meets the girl who comes to try and help him. But then everything he kind of does from this... It almost turns into a bit of a horror film at this point. Because all of his actions after this are kind of a bit horrible, really.
They are, but because because what the scientist said to him, he's trying to recreate what he saw, isn't he?
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, there's a gap, there's a disconnect between when he sat down in the facility and he phoned himself up, and he's sort of willing to change stuff. Then, right? And they don't. And then from that to in the car, when he puts the bandages on, by that point he must be thinking, "Oh, I've got to put the bandages on, mustn't he? Otherwise, why would you wrap your head like that?"
This is the problem, right? Yeah, because he knows where the plot needs to go.
That's it. Yeah.
This is the thing, and also, I mean, this is where I kind of struggled a bit because at that bit there are these kind of echoes of the conversations, aren't there, in his head?
Yeah.
So I was like, because to me, it's either he's either doing it like you say to kind of he has to play out what he's seen, which is that kind of catch-22, like the kind of time loop thing, or is it that you're supposed to think he smacked his head so hard he's kind of gone a bit crazy? Is that more what it is, that he's gone a bit unhinged?
I just think that any time machine story, you've got to get into that loop at some point, and that bit of getting into the loop is always going to be a problem script-wise because you've got to jump through hoops to make it work. It's how you reveal it.
It needs to be revealed in the sense of it needs to be almost accidentally that he finds himself in the loop.
Yeah, totally.
I agree. Yeah.
And
I do think
it's already been revealed. They always showed us and explained us quite a lot with that bandage guy, and
there should be a better way of him getting the bandages on, shouldn't there? Or more. Yeah. It should be more obvious that he's got to do that because he saw himself doing it.
Yeah. No, because I mean, really, what plays out is he steals the scissors off her. He makes her strip. It's kind of uncomfortable. He kind of like is spying on himself. It's a bit. You kind of almost lose your sympathy a little bit with him here. You're not really behind his actions at this point. It's a bit odd.
Well, the thing is, you've got to think, right? If you think about the logic of it, I know you can't completely because it doesn't work logically, but there's got to be a one of him that starts this off before the one we see, who's there, who makes strip in the first place, doesn't there?
Right. Yeah.
Or it's completely self-contained, right? So either he is this pervert who's making someone take their clothes off and he's that horror villain, or like it's just in his character, which based on the ending of the film. You know what I mean? Like you can't why is she taking her clothes off? He's doing it because he saw himself do it before. You know what I mean?
It's not really an excuse,
But
that's an interesting take on it. That actually this is revealing his darker self. You know, he was already a bit of a mucked up person, and this is bringing it out. Maybe.
I mean, you can't know, can you? I suppose because as I say, you can't. The plot can't resolve that for you. It can't tell you how did the first Hector get the idea to make her take the clothes off.
This is the problem with the predestination paradox, isn't it? Like, it's all in the telling of it. Like,
I did think it was very funny that bit when because in the beginning he looks at himself and he's holding the bandage man is holding his fingers over his eyes like pretending binoculars. And then when you see him actually do it, he has to do it like 5 times to actually catch himself. That is quite a clever almost a time travel joke, isn't it? That it isn't that simple. At this stage, would you like? Oh, go on.
I was going to say that bit's also good because then he puts a doubt in your mind of going like, oh, perhaps he's broken it. Maybe he's got out of it this time. You know, maybe he missed himself, but then he doesn't miss himself. You're like, oh no, he's actually all going to play out the same.
Yeah, no, that's true. At this point in the film, would you like a quiz?
Go.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I've got 2 quizzes.
Wow.
Yeah.
About time.
Or crimes.
Okay. It's an odd quiz. I'm not going to lie. Back in 2015, September 2015, 60 Minutes and Vanity Fair did a poll with their watchers, I guess, on time travel. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'll read out the answers, and you can either say you need to say which got the highest percentage in the votes of this poll.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah. So do you want to dive straight in? You don't want an example?
No, let's do it.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, it doesn't say what the demographic of these people were, but we're talking Americans The poll was conducted by telephone, random sample of 1,020 adults nationwide in America 2015. Okay, so Sam, you can go first. Okay, so the question is, what's more important for a happy and successful life? Lessons of the past or possibilities of the future? Which was more important to the 2015 60-minute Vanity Fair public?
I'd say future.
Possibility to the future.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. 53% said possibility to the future. Indeed.
The past is a sad, lonely place. You don't want to go back there.
Very true, and very depressing. Right, Chris, it's a bigger one for you.
Yeah.
Which behaviour is most likely to disappear in 1,000 years? Okay? You ready for your options?
Yeah.
Saying let's have lunch, the sign of the cross, the double-cheeked air kiss, shaking hands to greet someone, thank you notes, or grocery shopping with a basket?
Grocery shopping with a basket.
Very good. Yeah, that is it. Do you know what? Could you guess what the lowest one was?
Sign of the cross?
Yeah, probably.
Because Americans.
It was saying let's have lunch.
Oh yeah,
That's the lowest one.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You got to have lunch.
Okay. You got to have lunch.
Even in the
what's
future.
never even in the science fiction future, even 1,000 years from now. Right. Okay, Sam. What's most likely to happen first? Soccer becoming more popular than football in the US. Peace on Earth. Seinfeld reruns going off the air. A cure for cancer or time travel. Which one? I can read them again.
A very random collection of things, isn't it?
Really random.
Which one will happen first?
Yeah, more likely to happen first.
Cure for cancer.
Yeah, 41% cure for cancer. Only 6% said time travel.
Well, it can't happen. It's not going to happen, is it?
Well, then only 7% said peace on Earth, so that's depressing.
Well, there's realists. These Vanity Fair readers, they
They know what they're doing.
They are. Yeah, they are. Right, Chris. What would you bring with you if you were transported through time? Okay, you ready, Chris?
Yep.
Condoms. Christopher Lloyd. A gun. Antibiotics or a Bible?
Where am I going? The future or the past?
You've just been transported.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Oh right, okay. A gun.
Oh, it was a Bible.
Really?
21% said a gun, but 41% said a Bible.
I'd take the gun.
Nutters.
Yeah. Well, more said antibiotics.
Well, I hope I bump
They said
into them.
31%.
Actually, antibiotics is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say morphine.
Yeah. Money. I don't know. There's a lot of things you could take. Christopher Lloyd is not very useful, I don't think.
Especially now. He's about
Sadly.
100.
Unless he's got a gun.
Sorry, Christopher Lloyd.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless he's loaded with a gun.
Yeah, he's got
condoms,
all that
antibiotics
shit.
and a Bible.
Getting condoms.
Yeah. I bet he's got lots of tablets. He's, his age, all sorts of stuff, statins and all sorts.
A walking
Yeah. True.
Pharmacy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam. If Stephen Hawking said time travel was possible, then
Yeah.
it must be true. What does he know, or who's Stephen Hawking?
It's American, isn't it? I would say who's Stephen Hawking.
It must be true, but it was 30%
right.
said who's Stephen Hawking, and 36 said it must be true. So it's not far off. Yeah. Right, Chris, you ready?
Go.
Have you ever wanted to go back and change your vote for president? This is 2015.
No.
Remember? You think no?
Oh, you're not asking me,
It's
are
yes
you?
or
You're
no?
asking
No,
the
I'm not
readers.
asking you. Yes or no? Biggest percentage?
No.
Yes, it was no. Well done. Quite big, 75 to 23 there. Right, Sam. Which city would you want to be reborn in generations from now? Okay, here's your options.
Yeah.
Zurich, Beverly Hills, Singapore, Bangalore, or Vancouver?
I'd probably say Singapore, because it's nice
But
there.
is that what you think the Americans
No,
said?
because I probably know where it is. I'm going to say Vancouver.
Yes, they did say Vancouver.
They've got no idea, have they, about the wider world?
No. They have to pick what they know.
Don't start fights with more countries.
Well, I don't mind a beef with America.
We can't afford the listenership. Right, okay, Chris. What historic tragedy would you like to go back in time to prevent? Okay, so the assassination of JFK, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the sinking of the Titanic, or 9/11?
Titanic.
Is that what you think the Americans say?
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. They're Americans. Pearl Harbor?
It's got to be 9/11.
It was 9/11,
9/11.
yes.
They're obsessed with it.
Yeah. They can't see past their own nose, can they?
No,
it's true. Okay, Sam.
Yes.
Which would you most like to go back and witness firsthand? Columbus reaching a new world, finding the Dead Sea Scrolls, opening King Tut's tomb, landing on the moon, or eating the first oyster?
Eating the first oyster?
Yeah, it's not that one.
That's a what random thing to...
what a weird thing
I'm going to say landing on the moon, because again, they did that.
Yes, it was that. Okay, right, so at this point, we've only got 2 more questions.
It'd be good to be on a Stanley Kubrick set.
You conspiracy theorist. Right, Sam is in the lead here. It's 3-1 to Sam.
Okay.
So Chris, okay, this is for you, Chris. Which rock concert would you most like to go back and see? Okay, the Beatles at Shea Stadium in '65, Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock in 1969, the Rolling Stones at Altamont in 1969, Nirvana at MTV Unplugged 1993, the Sex Pistols on the Thames 1977, or none of these?
I'd probably say Woodstock.
Beatles.
Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Beatles.
Yep, you've got it, Chris, because actually, Beatles and Jimi Hendrix both got exactly the same amount.
Right. Yeah.
32%. Okay, so I'm going to give this one to Chris to see if... So it's 3... I'm going to give this one to Chris. If you get this, Chris, you've won. No, you've drawn.
But he's lost.
Yeah, no.
More questions. More questions.
Yeah, there's one more question. Let's make it fair. Yeah. Let's give it to Chris. If he gets this, it's draw. If he doesn't, then Sam's won. Okay?
Yeah.
Last question. What was most likely... who was most likely a time traveller from the future? Okay? Out of Salvador Dali, Liberace, Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, or Jesus of Nazareth? Who was a time traveller?
I reckon Leonardo da Vinci, and I'm going to say that.
That's what you think the American public said? I think this is quite shocking. 46% said Jesus was most likely a time traveller from the future. Yeah.
Well, what is he? Is he a son of God or a time traveller? Make your mind up.
Well, yeah, I would say that kind of disproves the religion a little bit if he's a time traveller. Doesn't really make sense,
all that shit was going to happen in the first place. It was just playing tricks on people. It wasn't magic.
Yeah. There you go. So Sam, you won that. Good one.
Thanks.
Well done. Wonder when they'll do. Hopefully they'll do another one of those polls soon. We can find out if they changed their answers at all.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy from last year who said he was a time traveller?
Oh yeah.
Was he called Noah? Was he called Noah? Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, yeah. I remember
Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noah. He came from 2028 to tell us that Google Glass is a big thing.
Did he work for Google? Did he have lots of Google shares?
I don't know. I think he vanished. Probably went back to the future, I suppose. But
because he got it wrong, and it isn't a big thing. Is he upset?
Unless they come back.
He says that Trump gets rid of the 2-term thing, and he will be president after 2020.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he went away again.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, talking of going away, back in Timecrimes, we're at the next part, which is freaking out. So Hector hears a scream, and the woman is gone. The naked woman is gone. He heads towards his own house and kicks down the fence. And he kind of, there's that great shot. I did think it was the best shot in the film where he's banging on the door, and it like does a 3 times zoom into him smacking the door in.
Oh yeah, up the stairs.
That. Yeah, I really liked that.
I liked the Spielberg pull back through the fence links as well. Just before that, through the chain link fence, whatever that's called, that sort of zoom.
Yeah,
it's like a VFX thing, I think.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Well, look good.
No, that zoom's not because he did it in Jaws. It's not VFX.
Oh, okay.
It's that
thin lenses, don't you? Can go through things.
It's when when Roy Scheider's because he's the right side of the fence. When Roy Scheider's on the beach and he's looking at his face and the background comes forward.
Oh, a contra zoom.
Oh, it's the
contra zoom. That's it. Yeah, it does one of those for the fence.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. But ultimately, he's chasing. So he's got his bandage on. He's chasing his wife through the house, and ultimately, he thinks. Sorry, spoilers. He's killed her because when he grabs her leg and he looks out the window, and she's dead on the floor, and he freaks out. He goes back to the facility, kind of rams in, gets to the scientist. Is like, I need to go back. All this stuff. The scientist doesn't want to do it, does he? The scientist is thrown away a part of the machine, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Because because the other Hector told him to do? It gets a bit complicated here, doesn't it?
It gets very complicated for me, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other Hector's told him not to let him go back, hasn't he? But then the twist is that actually the third Hector already knows you aren't listening to him, doesn't he?
But does that break the paradox? I don't know.
No, because he throws... Because when he's talking on the walkie-talkie and the third one, and he says, I'll make sure that he doesn't go in the thing, whatever. And then he tosses the walkie-talkie away and he goes, at least that makes sure you'll get hit on the head or something. He just wants his old self to slap him around the face.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So Hector takes off the bandages and he makes the scientist get the bit back. And it's got a good line here. The scientist says the machine doesn't solve problems, in fact it creates them. Which is kind of like, it's pretty much just like the message of the film, isn't it? As a kind of time travel doesn't really work, is what they're kind of saying, I guess. It's kind of saying. But he gets to jump back, but he only jumps back a tiny amount of time. So he basically has to super quickly fix everything. While there are so basically this is Hector 3, there are 2 other Hectors in the same world as him. And what we get is there's quite a good climax. I mean, I didn't see it coming. He gets back to the house, doesn't he? And it's to do with him. He uses the woman as a kind of fake for his own wife, thus killing the woman but saving his wife, which is a pretty dark, fucked up ending, isn't it?
Yeah. It's good though.
Yeah,
it was satisfying.
It's a good. Yeah,
I think
how it all went down. Do you think it was that whole big kind of rushing climax? Did you like all that?
If you go back a little bit, the bit I liked was he gets out of the thing third time. He's very nonchalant about it, whatever. And then he gets in the van and starts chasing himself. And then he knocks himself off the road and he's in the van.
Oh yeah,
and that's that point. That's when he thinks, "Oh no, I am actually stuck. I'm on a loop," doesn't he? He just gives up. Then he's like, "Oh, whatever." And I liked how it's only once he's sort of given up that then he has. You could say that action at the end of him realising that the one on the roof isn't him, right? That's him getting himself out of the loop. That's the end of the loop, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
And that's because he's abandoned all hope of getting out of the loop. You know what I mean? So his efforts to do anything about it were just getting more and more stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Which I quite like that idea that the only way through it is just to give up on trying to understand it because you can't understand it. That sort of yeah. And then you get a nice little twist, Yeah,
and it's also got a kind of fatalist, final destination, someone has to die almost, that kind of a life was taken, so a life has to be given, that kind of I think that's I quite liked that.
Yeah, there's rules of the universe.
Exactly, balance has to be restored. I thought that was quite a good. And I like that whole scene is set to the kind of set to that to the Blondie, isn't it? Hanging. Is it hanging on the? Is it hanging on?
No,
the
it's
no, it's the other one, isn't it?
Oh God, picture this.
Picture this. That's it. Yes, that's really good. I quite like the way that's done. Did you notice what's on the girl's T-shirt, by the way?
2 cats.
What does it? What do the 2 cats mean?
Is it something to do with?
Is it Schrodinger's cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Schrodinger's cat. Yeah. And also I read that he was inspired by
Chronocops.
Yes, yeah, which is odd, isn't it? From 2000 AD, yeah. And also there was going to be an English language remake
Cronenberg was trying to make it. I read that
with
as
Tom
well.
Cruise.
With
Yeah,
Tom
I don't think. Yeah. That wouldn't have worked, would it? I mean, they'd have just got rid of all the darker, kind of more weird.
They'd over-explain
stuff.
it, wouldn't they? It'd be really over-explained, and there'd be like another twist at the end. It'd be like that had happened, then like another one would come out of bush something, and you'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
I like the sort of like Rick and Morty twists to it, though. That's what's good about time travel films. You can get that. You can get them in. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want a quick quiz before we give our final verdict?
Do it.
Another one.
This is where he gives the same quiz, thinking to.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That'd be brilliant. Yeah.
It's not that. I had a great idea for my original idea for a quiz was that I would kind of like tell you some dates of crimes, and then you would say whether you wanted to go back and commit the crime or not. It got
a bit dark.
It got quite dark.
What's the catch?
All I had was robberies and murders, and then it's just.
What would be the catch? Why wouldn't we want to go back and commit all of them?
Wow, that's your answer.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go back and commit all of them, all the murders and the? Okay.
We've learned a lot about Chris.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is just four. This is crimes from time. 4 famous robberies. So I'll give you the date, and you tell me what the robbery is. Okay. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Chris can go first.
Go on.
Okay. 8th of August, 1963.
What do you want off me? Sorry.
What crime is it?
What robbery is that? What famous robbery is that?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
famous robbery.
The
63.
train robbery.
Great train robbery. Yeah. Very good, Chris. Yes. Okay. So Sam.
It's only famous in the UK, really.
Yeah, true. 11th of December, 1978. Sam.
I mean, Chris just said the one great crime I know. Really, so that's...
do you want a clue?
Are these all robberies, or are they other things?
They're all robberies. Yeah. Do you want a clue?
Yes, please. Yeah.
The clue is that you might know this from another film. There's a film that this features in that's made it more famous, probably for us, than it may have been.
Is it when Leonardo DiCaprio stole that plane in Catch Me If You Can?
No, it's the Lufthansa heist, the one in Goodfellas. Do you remember in Goodfellas, the one they do in the airport? Yeah, it's that one.
I'd never know that though.
No, okay. Right, Chris. 7th of November, 2000.
Is it that diamond one at the?
Oh, it is. Well done,
Millennium
Chris.
Dome. Yeah.
The Millennium Dome raid, which was a failure. It wasn't. It didn't happen. They apprehended it.
Yeah. Well,
Last
they hired a speedboat under the name of Mr. Diamond. That's what fucked them up.
pretty stylish though.
I read a thing this week about this drug dealer. Right. He's like some kid in university. And he was running a drug network called Nation, right? It's via text messages. Like, you'd order drugs, whatever, and they'd like, get drugs from down the country. But they call themselves Nation on this thing. And when the police went to arrest him, the guy says, "It's not me." He was wearing a T-shirt that had got Nation on it. And he'd released a rap album, and he'd called himself like DJ Nation Man or something like that.
Oh my God! Wow,
it's brilliant.
Well, he was getting in with the branding.
Yeah. It makes the Millennium
Instagram
one
account
quite sensible now.
Yeah.
God. Last robbery, Sam.
Okay.
2nd of April, 2015.
Was that them trying to steal? Was it the Scream picture?
Oh no, it was the Hatton Garden one. The one that was, the one that the old guys burgled the millions. You know that one?
No.
It's pretty big. There's a film just come out about it.
Yeah. Well, Chris won that, so it's one competition, one quiz all. I think that's a fair. That's a fair assessment. And what did we think? Now we're at the end of Timecrimes. What did we all think of Timecrimes overall? Good, bad, indifferent.
It was
Chris.
It was. I like the paradox how it was told. I think it was done quite cleverly. I think it just didn't look very nice, the film. So I think at the very, very minimum, you can do that. You can make things look nice. So
that was your. So what would you?
Visually,
do you think that was the money, or do you think that was his directing style?
I don't know. It's probably
what was it that was lacking?
Yeah, it's just an eye. It just didn't have any like flair, like visual flair to it, which
That's interesting. Yeah, I can't not agree with you. It was quite basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it kind of,
What did you
its
think,
consequence, it looks cheap and looks like an indie movie, you know.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam?
I liked it quite a lot, and I actually did like the look of it. I thought I liked how it looked, kind of just like you'd wandered into something going on for real. Like it didn't look like a film. I thought I quite enjoyed the look of it, and I liked. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like this sort of film where, you know, it's not demanding much from me, so I can work the plot out in my head as it goes along, and then I feel clever when I get bits. I like films that make me feel clever. So like when I was working it out and it happens, and like I knew the ending before the end, whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's right. So any film makes me feel like that. I enjoy stuff like that.
Wow.
It's like a Rubik's cube, isn't it? This kind of thing. I love that kind of. That's what I like. That's why I like Agatha Christie stuff on telly. When you kind of.
I can imagine you there sat there drawing that diagram when you thought you'd.
Yeah, totally. Because everything's there, isn't it? I like things where everything's there, and there's nothing's going to jump out of the left field and confuse you. Like it's you're being told the parameters and what's gone on, and that first time round you get the little hints, stuff like that, so you can work it out. And I think it's a very neat way of writing. I think it's a good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
How about you, Alex? What was your?
Yeah, no, I think I could kind of see what Chris said. It was quite dirty, grimy looking in a way. I agree with that. But but I kept thinking, but this was his first film, and I think as a kind of something to show someone who wants to make films and say, look how simple this is. He only had that kind of space. The kind of time machine set is only the thing that is kind of complicated. Everything else was very basic and normal. And no, I thought it was interesting enough and. Like entertaining enough to kind of keep me going. I don't know, it didn't blow my mind, but I think it was like, I liked it. Like you say, it was a neat little package. And I quite liked, like you say, the end was it was quite a nasty end, and I quite liked that. I think anything else would have been a bit of a cop-out, really. And I thought it did blend genres quite nicely. Like, I think there's a bit of horror in there. There was definitely science fiction. There's some comedic moments. I think he balanced all those things well. Yeah, but maybe with a bit of money, a bit of shine over it, then it might have been just that it might have elevated it just that little bit more. So, yeah.
Cool.
But good, generally good.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched it, definitely.
Where's it going to go, though? What do we think?
Someone else can go first.
I will go.
Sure.
Big old list we got now, isn't it?
It is a big old list. Maybe around 50, underneath Bill and Ted, I'd say. So maybe was that 51? 52? 52, yeah.
That's where the films take a bit of a dive there, don't they?
It's The Edge of Tomorrow, as literally, and that is the film that seems to be the one that is like sits right there. I think 35. Ooh.
Below Lost World, above Solaris.
No.
Chris?
No.
That's higher than Independence Day. That's a problem.
Yeah, it's not.
It's higher than Tron as well. No, it's not better than Tron.
It's not as important as
that's not everything, is it, though?
Day, and it's not. I really struggle with its look, and I know it's like a European indie movie.
What about Jinx? But is it better than Pacific Rim?
Yeah, I'd go something like 41 would be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all right with that actually as well. Yeah, around that area. I love Tron. I don't think it's better than Tron.
No.
Better than 1984, wasn't it though?
No, I think 1984 is a classic.
I would watch this again, but that's not really what we vote on, is it? So
41 then, I'll settle with 41, that's fine.
Cool.
41? Cool.
41 it is.
Bang that in.
Lovely, straight in there. Timecrimes. Well done, Nacho Vigalondo. Maybe we'll do Colossal at some point. Who knows? Maybe.
He's done one about another Spanish one, hasn't he, as well? Science fiction.
Is that Extraterrestrial?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's okay. The problem with that, I would say, is it kind of starts off as a big science fiction premise and then quite quickly turns into being more about the people, which is okay.
Right.
But then it's one of those films where you could almost take away the alien element. Do you know what I mean? it's more of a kind of. It also does feel quite small. He's got a bit more money, but he hasn't got much more money.
Right. Okay.
So I wouldn't jump to
It
say
says on
let's
here
do that,
like
but
it lost a lot of money. Timecrimes
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
that's a pity.
lost 2 million to make, and they only made like 500,000 back or something.
Oh, it's a bit sad. I mean, like I said, the reason I picked it was it does appear if you look up like foreign science fiction films, it is pretty well featured in most lists of like foreign science fiction films that people should watch, and I can see why. I agree with that. Should we time travel ourselves now to what we're going to watch next week?
Do it.
Let's do it. This is nice.
What you got?
A Mandarina Blonde by Moncado Brewery from Notting Hill. Who they gave it to me for free because we stocked their beer and the guy just came and said, "Oh, we got a new range. Do you want some?" Just gave them to me. So
Nice.
good, very nice.
I've got a
Cool. You just gave them a free advert.
Well, they might give us free beers, mightn't they?
I don't mind it. I don't mind giving them an advert. It's a good beer.
I'll save my beer choice for the next trailer so we can get these adverts rolling. Anyway, so this week, guys, by the way, we're here from the past. Hi.
Hello.
Is John Carpenter's seminal work. I've got to stop saying my opinion on these trailers, haven't I? Escape from New York, the 1981 post-apocalyptic sci-fi action film starring Kurt Russell. Alex, you've seen this, no doubt.
Yeah.
Chris, you don't think you've seen it?
I don't think I've seen this.
Right.
Ooh.
Well, you're in for a treat.
You are.
This follows Snake Plissken, played by Kurt Russell.
I hate it already.
He's basically dispatched into Manhattan Island, which has become a maximum security prison.
It doesn't make any sense. Why?
You'll see it in the trailer.
Yeah, you're not giving it the right frame of mind. You go into like a more open,
Okay.
Air Force One's been hijacked. It's crashed in New York City, and Snake's got to rescue the president. It's such a classic setup.
Yeah.
So is it in the future?
Well, it's it's 1997. It's set in. So, but in 81 it was the future. It's like Blade
Is
Runner.
it a maximum security prison?
What? Sorry.
Why is it Why is it a prison?
They just built a wall around Manhattan.
Manhattan,
Just
yeah.
put all the criminals in there and said, "Get on with it."
It's an island, isn't it?
Manhattan's huge.
Yeah, but remember what New York was like in the late that era.
In the late 90s.
No, in the 80s it was like.
In the 80s.
Anyway, this is all for the actual show. We're getting off topic. Basically, all you need to know is that New York's a prison. Air Force One's crashed there. The president needs rescuing. They're sending Snake in to get him. That's literally all you
Any
need.
sense?
Let's watch a trailer from Escape from New York.
Yeah.
In what world can there be an Air Force One and Manhattan's been turned into a prison?
And there's a weird vaudeville like musical number in the middle, isn't there, as well, which is odd.
New York, 1997. The entire city is a walled maximum security prison. The bridges are mined. The rivers are patrolled. And the United States Police Force has everything under control, they think.
I'm going in.
Have you ever played the computer game Metal Gear Solid, Chris? Don't you have you?
No.
That just rips this off, basically.
I was going to say, I was about to ask that. They did take Solid Snake from this, yeah?
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think he's called Pliskin in the game, isn't he? I think.
Is he?
I think before he's called Solid Snake, he's just called Pliskin. Yeah, so I think it must be.
okay.
And he's got an eye patch, so it's got to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
You looking forward to it, Chris?
Yeah, it looks weird. It looks strange. The premise I don't understand.
It'll be interesting if nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right, but I'll hand you back to the past. Bye.
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 So there you go. It's Escape from New York.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Would you like me to read out where to find us and stuff? Or is there
Definitely.
anything else? Any more? Is there any news or
I don't think so.
any correspondence? No correspondence?
Oh, we've got to catch Chris up on what he missed in terms of film. We're watching a film.
Did you do some trailers?
Yeah, so we watched a bunch of trailers,
Cool.
which will be going. No, when we're recording this, they're not yet. They'll go up next week, basically.
Yeah.
We watched. How many was it? 6 trailers, 7 trailers?
Maybe more. I think it was 4 each. I think it was 8 in the end.
It was a lot of trailers, and we basically from that lot we chose one film to watch from it, and we chose it. It's called. Was it called Future? Not Future World.
Future War.
Future War.
Yeah. It's got dinosaurs in, Chris.
We chose it because it's got dinosaurs in it. That's why we chose it, because we knew you'd be alright with dinosaurs.
Future War.
To be honest, Chris, 4 of the films were films that weren't out, so we couldn't have chosen them. So only 4 of the films qualified for being chosen. And frankly, you got the best out of the 4. You know.
Well, it could have been Battlefield Earth.
I mean, the calibre of stuff we're watching, Battlefield Earth looked like 2001, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I've just pulled that up. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
How did you like assemble this list?
We chose 4 films each that we thought we'd like.
We put shit films into Google.
Yeah. Maybe you can listen to the podcast and hear what we say.
Okay.
You should definitely also look up The Amazing Bulk, which that's what I was hoping we'd watch, but it didn't happen. So
no.
Anyway,
everyone should look that up.
So look for Future War in the future. Anyway, coming soon on.
Yes, way off, but it is happening. Yeah, it has to happen. If you want to email us about anything about time, maybe you're from the future and you want to tell us that we're in 5 years' time. This is a massively successful podcast. That would be nice to know. And we'll keep going. Email us at sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com, and then all our social media is at SF Rating System, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook, whatever. We don't even do that anymore, do we? Do we even do anything?
Do you still put them? You've been putting them like toy things on Facebook. Do you still do that?
I scheduled it a long time ago, and there's still a couple that are going to come up. Yeah, but when they finish, there isn't any more.
Yeah.
That was good fun looking them up, actually.
Good,
but I kind of caned all of the websites that had them on. I couldn't find any more, sadly. And then the website, which is fantastic, is sciencefictionratingsystem.com, where you can see a live list, listen to the podcast, do what you like, leave some comments. If you're a Yakuza or Australian,
start some beef.
Yeah.
Cheers.
That's about it.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I'll see you all next week then.
Cheerio.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.